67, Manchester Road, Hyde Road. Nice and simple.
Oh, welcome back. This is a out of service run. I'm just trying to sort out audio because I can't actually hear the video clip, which is not too useful. That's why. More bleeding things open now than anything. Any sauce. Right, it should be monitoring now. But either way, I'm now at Hattersley roundabout. Let's join the M67. So I'm not going to be able to actually hear what's going on because of how it's mixed in. For some reason it doesn't want to play the audio for me, no matter what I do to try and solve the issue. So, got the monitor on, what have you. But when it doesn't want to work, so I'm going to blast down the M67 now.
A bit like having a concrete slab as a kite.
Now these are all clips you would have seen before, but it gives you a chance to ask your questions and interact. It's been a long time since I've seen them really. Now, I don't really do bus driving now out on the main roads, so to speak, anymore. So, it's all like, I don't really do it anymore. More intrigued why I have no audio. Unless it has decided that is how we're going to do it. No. So yeah, not too sure on that one. So at least there's not an echo. I'm just passing Hyde now. So the main of the run dead from Hattersley is the motorway, and I know lots of you will say, no, buses shouldn't go on motorways. Well, there's nothing actually governing us not to go on them. We just do either 50, 56 or 62 max, depending on, well, several things really. How accurate your speedometer is, how accurate your speed reading is for your limiter, and what the gearbox can actually give. If I remember rightly, on these 400s, some of them will do 62, some of them will only do 50, some of them will only do 52, 56. So it will depend on the tyres fitted and the limiter. But they will pretty much just, they will do 62 and they will sit at 62 quite happy for about 5 seconds until it overheats. But better than sitting in a hybrid at 40 on the motorway. Now this is like one of the shorter ones that we do. I am going to do them over a number of platforms to give everyone a chance to engage. But that's what these are really about. They're about engagement, reviews, and asking you questions. Like I said, these are pretty old. There is now a guy doing the B Network ones, and he does it very differently to I did it. Probably something I wanted to do back at the time, but didn't really have the ability at the time to do it. We're coming to the end of the M60 now, which is then the Denton Island. This can get very backed up during the day. If you're doing this run dead during the day, I'd probably recommend, especially if it's near rush hour, coming off at Denton, rather than coming off at Denton Island, which is the actual end of the motorway.
I'm not in a straight line, no, I'm not. That is not where you want to go down.
So I do have a warning on the dashboard. I think that, judging its low resolution, but I think it's the headlight out. And the other warning that keeps popping up is the retarder. On these it's a orange circle with brakes around the side of it and a upside down T in it, which is your retarder brake. I think in these in these gearboxes they're electromagnetic.
Lost for words. Taxi didn't really want to stop there, did it?
It's sort of like magnets on. I believe it works like magnets on the drive shaft, and that hooks on. That junction there you've got to watch, because people come up from the M60 and although it's giveaway, they miss the giveaway bit and they just pull straight out because they put that island there. So if they come round, they expect the lane to continue, but it doesn't. And when they first did that island, they put up like metal posts, and they just kept getting destroyed. So I think they gave up with them. And now it's them flexible ones that you just sort of demolish as you go, don't really do much damage to your car. So now we're on Hyde Road. Like I said, the Tour 1's run dead is probably one of the easiest ones. You will still have drivers that will drive the route. You do have enough time on your run dead to drive the route back. They do this in case you don't know the area, so you're able to drive back through a route that you know, which mitigates some of the risk of like low bridges and that. But as you get on, you typically know the areas that you go into, especially when you start doing diversions off the route. You'll start to learn little ways that are quicker. Or I did like the Flixton ones. I didn't really know Flixton, but occasionally you'd finish up there dead with another driver doing like from the 15, and you've done a 256, you could follow them back and learn the way that way. Or if you know another bus route that you share goes a certain way but you don't, that way might be quicker. So we're now down at Reddish. I didn't see the numbers of the one in front, but that is 12023. We're driving 19362 or 352. Obviously all these fleet numbers now have disappeared now the B Network's taken over. They've all been renumbered because Hyde Road is in charge of Metroline. That is what they class as the most dangerous corner on this road. It's now 2 lanes all the way down here. Since they widened it up, and then people keep binning it into the wall and what have you. Just the amount of speed that people do. This section here, there's no point jumping straight into your lane. The lanes are very narrow, so if you can stay out of the grids, it's a much better ride. So yeah, as you can see in the mirror, I am over the lane divider, but there's nothing really to state why I can't be over that lane divider. There's no cars trying to get past, but it just keeps you out of them grids, because if you go in them grids, especially when they've not just been done, they have to keep doing them because they keep sinking. But if you're in them before they've been done, you will break your back. It is a horrible stretch of road. So coming up now to Gorton Tesco's. Very busy stop, that one. And that light was definitely green when I went through that. I know people pull me up a lot for the lights, but it's one of them you've got to, even empty, it's whether you slam on or not. The little green dot you can see just below the call request button, which is to the right of that CCTV camera. That's the green road. As you see, it's a good drive so far. It's green. But we're coming up now to Bellevue. This is another very busy stop there. Got to watch for cars turning right there. Again, if you can stay out of the grids, keep your wheels off the double yellers. Keep them off the double yellers. I can see on the blind I've got 10 Weatherfield on. This was definitely back in the day when we used to be naughty. So this is one of them junctions where most of the traffic that during the day is in the lane that we're in now will be turning left. So sometimes it will pay, although it's technically against policy. You can go in the right hand lane and cut back across to get to this bus stop here, because the policy states that you must be in the correct lane for the next bus stop that's coming up, so you don't have to cut across lanes. But sometimes you can be sat, if the traffic's bad there, you can be sat for 10-15 minutes in the traffic, so it makes sense to go round it where possible. Coming down to B&M, another quite a busy stop during the day. Definitely busy at school time, this stop. It's also a mint stop when it's been raining, because Lake Michigan forms there and everyone does themselves. That junction that we just passed, there's a lot of accidents there, so you've got to watch out for cars pulling out there quite a lot. Coming down to the bingo, not really a busy stop, to be fair, this one. All these stops tend to be, you've got a few car movers that go to that bus stop we just passed, and then we're coming up to Alan Turing Way. A big junction. Coming this way, it's quite a safe junction. If you're going across the junction the opposite way to what we're doing, so left to right or right to left, then it can be quite a dodgy junction, especially if you're turning, because there's no filters on then, or there wasn't back in these days. This bus stop, you get a smattering of people at it. Again, nothing too much really.
You see brake lights flashing,
and then we've got the BOC used car sales. Church. Busy on Sundays, that bus stop. Into the bus lane. I'm presuming, yeah, the bus in front is not in service as well. So they are doing the typical foot down finish. But also we are turning right a bit further down here. As you can see, I come out now as well. We are turning right into the depot, so it's easier to be out in the lane than it is to not be, because then we're not having to try and force our way across at the end. Or, well, force is the wrong word, but not trying to come across at the end.
It's quite a windy day.
And then we've got the speed camera outside the depot where this does catch quite a few people out. They have changed it now to one of their new speed cameras as well, but that used to catch quite a lot of car drivers out. And now, yeah, we're going over the island here to turn right into the depot, but that's just so if we do have to stop to turn into the depot here, our back wheels are in line and straight, so we're not partially crossing the other lane. We come to the depot now. It must have been quite late on. This is the person you see here is the night router. So he's in charge of getting all the vehicles out, well, in, washed, fueled, and then out again. I know he would have said left of 7 when I come in, so that means we're going to bay 7, and he wants us to park on the left of it. That is the left of it as we look at it when we get to the top, not the other way round. So he works back to front. If he was to tell you to go on the fuel pumps, we go into the fuel pumps there. The hybrids go on the fuel pumps first because they go outside, so they try and get them fueled up first. And then that's engineering. You'll always have academic buses there. It's a safe place for them. A bit of accident damage there. So the options you've got really when you come in, or when you did come in, back when I did, was you parking on a bay, parking on a fuel pump, on the wall if you was dead late, and that just means you can't get round, or you was parking in front of engineering. 9 times out of 10, if the engineering want it, they will put engineer on the step and tell you to put it through the pumps first. So I hope you found that interesting. I'm going to jump off and I'll look at